Thank you, Chris. It was great. Now it's a pleasure for me to introduce the next speaker, Udi Mokady, the founder, the president, and the CEO of CyberArk.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Michal. It's Udi Mokady for the record. Great to be back here at Cyber Week and see the beautiful attendance here. And in keeping pace with the conference, I'm going to talk actually about enablement and how we need to keep pace and how CISOs, for the CISOs of you out there in the crowd, can be an enabler to keep pace with digital transformation. As speakers before me, and as you all know, touched it, we're really in a new world. We used to be in a world where we had to drive into the office before connecting to our computer systems. We used to be in a world where it took months and even 6 months increments before software could be put out there. And now we're really in a modern age of rolling out quick application, microservices, containers, automation, you name it, and it's all happening very, very fast. And there's a good business reason for this. Actually, research has shown that organizations that adopt digital transformation are much more likely to be successful both in top line and bottom line. 9% more on average, more successful in their growth in their top line, and 26% more doing better on the bottom line. And so digital transformation has real reasons. You all know this as consumers. You want the airline which is easy to book a ticket with. You want an insurance company that you can interact with faster, the banks and others, and obviously became a CEO initiative to drive digital transformation if they want to keep their company growing and if they want to stay relevant and not be disrupted, interact with their customers, find new revenue sources, and really transform their digital persona. And so this is here to stay, and it's driven top down. It creates a big opportunity for the organization to adopt digital transformation. Things that took months will take days, and business can be done much faster. So the velocity and speed of this is really a breakthrough. But in parallel, we're seeing the same amount of innovation happening on the attacker's side with a much wider attack surface for them. Verizon came out with its recent data breach report summarizing breaches that they investigated in the last year. They found that in 92% of the attacks, credential theft and credentials were used as the way to propagate the attack. And the context here is, of course, that we're seeing with digital transformation a proliferation of credential. We don't just have humans interacting with machines. We have more and more machines talking to machines. More and more roles are done by robots. There's quick adoption of robotic process automation. According to Deloitte, by 2023, basically every organization will be using RPA, robotic process automation, to automate tasks in their environment. And suddenly, privileged tasks that were done by humans are being done more and more by computers and by pieces of code. And so you have speed and you have a proliferation and growth in the attack surface. The diagram you're seeing here, which I recommend security professionals to look at, it's an objective diagram done by MITRE, and it's called the MITRE Attack Framework, and really summarizes more than 100 attack techniques that were collected from organizations, defense, and others around the world, and really summarizes it up. What you see at the bottom is the MITRE framework, and at the top, some of the speed elements and how things are changing. What the framework shows is that credential theft is used as 5 of the 6 top steps in which attackers propagate their attack. And a recent finding showed that from the initial intrusion that can take under 7 hours just to get into an enterprise to the breakout where from that first landing spot, an attacker was able to move laterally and basically break out into the organization. For a sophisticated attacker, it takes under 5 hours over research of many organizations. So by doing that, an attacker can actually leapfrog the organization to begin to move laterally and advance the attack. And again, some attackers under the survey can be out of the organization within 7 hours, already infiltrating data. Of course, it depends on the attack. There's attacks where the intention is to stay close and in stealth. But everything is really speeding up, and credentials are the weapon of choice for attackers. And that's why it's no surprise that Gartner put up privilege access management and credential protection as a top initiative for CISOs in their Risk and Security Conference in 2018. And again last week in the Gartner Risk and Security Conference, they presented a very similar chart where privilege access management was at the top. There's good reason because it's in the center of so many things, and it's inherent in every organization. We've done a lot as the pioneer in privilege access management to really bring this new layer to many organizations around the world. And we did that through a lot of innovation right here out of Israel. We founded CyberArk in Israel, and this is where our R&D and our CyberArk labs are working hard to continuously innovate in pushing this layer, but also understanding the various attack layers. And just recently, this space was awarded its own Magic Quadrant, and CyberArk was selected on the top far right, highest in execution and furthest in vision. And again, through a lot of work and always remembering the dimension of industry customers, but there's always a very motivated attacker out there. Chris before me and Donald earlier talked about the importance of collaboration. CyberArk puts time and dollars in integration with many of the security and IT technologies that we have out here. We truly believe it's actually constitutional in CyberArk. We believe that security is a team sport, that it's our job to really create integrations that our customers can find and put the things together. Whether it's a vulnerability scanner that needs privilege access before they can run a scan, or it could be a DevOps tool for development that needs credentials and secrets, and we need to serve it. So we have a continuing investment with over 100 certified solutions and many partners that are presenting here today. But the mission is far from being over. What we find in our own surveys and everywhere else is that, back to what I said earlier, digital transformation is driving the business, and the folks in charge of digital transformation are running much faster than security. We found indications where there's actually no strategy on important security elements as the organization is adopting cloud and DevOps, moving workloads, and the security is trying to keep pace with this challenge. Very often being perceived as the preventers. Guys, we have to do this. We have to roll our applications fast. We have to move to the cloud. We have to adopt SaaS. And we have a big perspective. We have 4,600 customers around the world, and we can actually show and see different perspectives of how some companies have figured it out and found a way. And it's those interactions where we see that the security professionals have actually adopted a transformational enabler role, where they see themselves as not as the preventer, we need to block this, but actually, okay, we're in charge of security. We understand the business reason why the organization is adopting digital transformation, and it's our role to be an enabler in this. And there are many ways to do that. It's about involving the security teams in those architecture decisions as part of digital transformation. It's about including the SEC in the DevOps, understanding that it's not just some cool group, some of them with long beards, doing the DevOps fast-paced innovation, and we can't touch them, we can't talk to them. They don't want to talk to anybody. They're working on the new applications. No, reach out. They're not as geeky as you think, and they just want to develop and they want to code. And if we can enable them to do it faster, they'll be happy to collaborate with security, especially if security can deliver security as a service to those developers. You go do your digital transformation, but we'll be a service for you and to get the infrastructure right from the get-go. Because actually, digital transformation is an opportunity to get into this new frontier in the right way and to do things nice and clean as in a new infrastructure and actually fix some of the things we weren't able to do in a legacy infrastructure. So I'm actually very optimistic because of this viewpoint of seeing different organizations embrace it, seeing security professionals understand the business dynamics, but also the security dynamics that can enable digital transformation and where it can get done. And so we have to keep pace. The race is really on right now. It's happening in your organizations, and of course the attackers are loving it as well. But we always choose blue, optimistic color as our colors. We believe that, first of all, we CyberArk will be relentless to support our customers and partners in the race, and also optimistic that the transformation enablers are out there in the crowd and we can make it happen together. So thank you very much and enjoy the conference. Cheers.